Hey, Friday's always a little bit truncated with Shane Steichen talking about the upcoming opponent, injuries, that kind of thing. What we hear, and I don't think that I'm revealing anything that you don't already know that we need to wait for Shane to say, but Michael Pittman's been ruled out with the back. It's going to be a week-to-week process. What he also talks about the Bills, the specific kind of challenges that the Bills present, whether it's Josh Allen, receivers, defense, whatever. This is going to be a tough game for the Colts. But you got to win this game. You can't fall to 4-6 and call yourself a potential playoff game. You just can't. If you get to 5-5, you split the next two. We've talked about this. You get to 6-6, and everybody around here is happy because the last 5 opponents are all beatable, right? That's what we hope happens on Sunday.
All right, I'll start off. Bernie cleared. He's good to go. The only guy we're ruling out for this week is Pitt.
What went into the decision to rule out Michael?
I mean, he's been battling like crazy. We're taking this thing week to week. Like I've said before, one of the toughest guys ever been around. He's been battling like crazy. So we're going to take it week to week with him.
Is it more the back or the finger?
It's the back. Yeah.
It's still no IR.
Correct.
Has that thing perhaps gotten worse?
I can't really say. I'm not a doctor. I mean, but yeah, he's battling through it.
Do you have confidence, though, that just like one game off can get him back on track?
It could. It definitely could. You know, we're going to take it week to week, like I said, go through the process and see how it goes.
Shane, when you play a quarterback like this, how much what you do offensively can help you play defense against them?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the biggest thing going into any game, especially this game, is playing complementary football. You know, this guy is an elite player. He makes a lot of plays with his legs outside the pocket. When you go back and watch the tape, all the explosives are him getting out and making huge plays. So we got to do a great job of containing him in the pocket. We know he's going to make some plays here and there. He's a great player. And again, got to dictate that, see how the flow of the game's going, and how we're rolling there.
We haven't talked much about AD lately. I mean,
Yeah.
He may have to play a role for you this week. Where's he at? He hasn't played a lot, but what do you see in the practice with him?
He's been stepping up each week. He's improving, you know, so looking forward to him this week. Obviously, he'll be out there, but he's done a nice job. You know, he's preparing the right way and looking forward to his opportunity.
Shane, what do you think was just the pressure on Alec Pierce and Josh Allen to kind of take a little bit more help here?
I mean, pressure's a privilege, right? Those guys go out and go do their jobs, you know what I mean? They've been doing it all year, doing a hell of a job for us. They prepare the right way, so looking forward to all those guys' opportunities.
I mean, when you can turn to a guy like Ashton Dillon, for example, who's been veteran, knows how to do it, how much does that help?
It's huge. I mean, he's a guy that just works. He puts his head down and works. He's a great special teams player for us, and when he's had his opportunities offensively, you know, he's taking advantage of that. So looking forward to that group in a whole.
Shane, the defense has been a little more aggressive, maybe a little more creative in disguising blitz. Looks like you know Gus for a while. Just how neat has it been to see him kind of add some of that stuff to his defense?
It's been great. I think week to week, you know, kind of dictates who you're playing against, the weapons they have, and how we got to play defensively to take those things away. So there's always got to be wrinkles in every week with who you're playing, but Gus done a hell of a job with that.
Kind of off the subject, but wondering how much did you know about Kenny Moore before you got this job, and from afar, and just kind of what have been your takeaways?
Yeah, I knew of him. I definitely knew of him, but being around him obviously last year and then this year, just really, I've said this about a few players, but he's really cerebral. He sees the whole game. He studies film like crazy. Obviously, he's one of our captains for a reason, leader in the back end, tough, obviously, great in the box player, great vision with the wideouts. It's been a pleasure to be around him.
And so, as someone who calls plays, when you have a guy like that, when you're playing against them, what challenges do they present?
I think really, sometimes disguises, you know what I mean? He does a good job of that stuff. When anytime you got a good player, cerebral player that knows, just trying to hold stuff, he's done a hell of a job with that. So you got to be alert for that. Same thing when you're going against those other guys. It's the same deal. All right.
I'm just curious, obviously Kim Coleman won't play, but just a guy like that, what kind of problems does he have?
What's that?
Clear secure?
Oh yeah, he's a speed guy, obviously. Big speed guy, can run the route tree, so we got to stay on top of him. He's a hell of a football player. Yeah.
That's Shane Steichen, and anybody who's auditing Shane Steichen's media appearances trying to figure out what the hell the Colts are going to do on the next Sunday, especially the Fridays, you're not going to get a lot. I mean, if they're looking at this in Buffalo trying to figure out what the Colts are going to do to counter Josh Allen or attack that defense, you're not getting a whole lot of meat on these bones. Steichen talking about the injury situation. Actually, the Colts are healthier than they have been maybe in years past. There are a lot of guys on the IR, but you know what? Pittman, among the actives, being the only guy who's down, that's not a bad place to be.